All right, hello once again, Jeff Scott from Jeff Teaches Programming. And in the last video, we finished version 1 of our payroll application. And we're going to start on version 2 now. But before we do, I just wanted to show you that I did go in and make two little changes in the scripts file here. Oops. First, in here, this was set up wrong, the message, so I fixed it. It's just going to look a little nicer, that's all. And second, for the commission, I added the % sign. Okay. Hit enter here. I commented out what was in here for the message. Still works exactly the same. So file, save all. I'm going to close this. I'm going to close this. And now I'm going to show you what I'm going to do next. All right. I've got this payroll 2 and I've got a payroll 1. I'm going to take everything that was in payroll 1, copy it to the clipboard, go to payroll 2 and paste it in. So now payroll 2 right now is an exact duplicate of payroll 1. I don't want that, but I wanted to show you that. Why? Because this is what I'm going to do. We're going to take our payroll, so this is payroll 02. What we're going to do is we're going to keep our index.html. We're going to make just very little changes to it. We're going to make no changes to styles.css, but our old script.js file is going to change. We're going to break it down into 5 files, keep the script.js file, but we're going to have a validation.js file, which will be loaded first, an hourly.js file to take care of our hourly employees, a pieceworker.js file to take care of our piece workers, a commission.js file to take care of our commission workers, and a salary.js file to take care of our salaried workers. Now, the only change we're going to have to make in index.html is instead of having this, we now have 6 files. So I'm going to grab this, copy that to the clipboard. I'm going to come into here and I'm going to file, open file. The first thing I'm going to open here in payroll 02 is my index file. And down at the bottom here, where we have, very bottom, where we have this script line, I could keep that in there because we are still using that, but I'm going to put in this. So we now have 6 script files that we're including. They don't exist yet, but that's okay. All right. So there they are. So file, save all. Now, I may be right, may be wrong. I'm not even going to open up the styles.css file because we shouldn't have to make, if we do this right, we shouldn't have to make any changes to that at all. So this was the only change that were made in our index.html file. No changes in the other file. So let's do a file. Let's not even do an open file yet. Let's do this first. All right, before we even go and talk about these other files, let's go into JS and let's make these other files. All right, so I'm going to come in here and I'm going to do this. Copy and paste. All right, now it says script copy. We're going to make this. This will be called validation.cs, and we're going to remove everything that's in it. It's now empty. All right, we're also going to make in here, so we're going to copy this and we're going to paste it 4 more times. So we're going to have in here, and these are all going to be empty for right now, hourly.cs, I'm sorry, when I say CS, I mean JS. So we're going to keep our script.js for now. We've now got a validation.js, an hourly.js. You probably can guess what's coming next. A pieceworker.js. Next will be our commission .js, and finally our salaried.js. Now again, we have in here 6 files, 5 of which right now are empty. We're going to start filling them up in just a second. But I'm going to come in here and go back to this thing I was showing you here before. All right, so we've already made our changes. So index.html, that changed. Styles.css, no changes. So these are the 6 JavaScript files. Validation.js will contain only validate numeric input. As it says, it'll be loaded first. That way any other file will be able to call it. So let's do this. Let's copy this. In fact, we'll just copy it. And I'm going to open validation.js. There it is. And we're going to paste this in. Now, don't worry about that. What we're going to do is we're going to put these in as comments. So it says it contains only validate numeric input. So let's find the function validate numeric input. There it is, validate numeric input. So we'll see if I'm doing this right or not, but I'm just going to remove it. And I'm going to put it into validation.cs. All right. So as it says, it contains only the validate numeric input. Contains only that. And again, as it says, it's loaded first so that every other file can call it. I don't really need this anymore. So there we've got it. Okay. So we've got one done already. All right. I'm going to close this. I'm going to keep script open, and now I'm going to open up hourly. All right. And when I go back to here, it says hourly will have our constants that deal with hourly, our calculate hourly gross pay, and our validate and calculate hourly functions. So again, I'm going to copy this. I'm going to put that in here just like we just did. Okay. And now I'm going to go and bring the stuff in. So let's first find our hourly constants that are in here. Anything with hourly. So all these. All right. Let's see what else we've got. Oops. Well, our accumulator. Let's leave that out for now. It's not a constant. We'll have this, our hours worked input. And, well, I should have just grabbed them both. Our hours worked input and our hourly rate input. So we'll add those next. All right. We really don't even need all of the blank lines and stuff we're putting in here, but it's totally fine to do that. All right, let's keep looking and see if we've got any other constants. Well, there's one. An hourly field set. And then we'll have our total hourly in just a second. I don't know why I keep doing that. I'm going to go here. Oh, get that here. In fact, let's go ahead and get rid of all these blank spaces. All right. If we want, we can line all these up. There we go. Let's go back to here. I think we'll need our total hourly. We're not going to run this because by the time we try to, I'm sure we get tons of errors, and that's okay. So we said here we wanted all the constants, and we wanted the calculate hourly gross pay. There it is. Okay. And what else did we want? We also wanted our validate and calculate hourly. Oops. Keep doing that. Well, I don't even think I have that. So for right now, we'll worry about that later. How's that? All right. So there's our hourly right now. All right, next, let's open our piece worker, which again is empty. And go back to here. And for our piece worker, same thing. We want our piece worker constants and our calculate piece worker gross pay. That validate we'll do later. So let's go back to here again. Copy that. Paste that in here. There we go. Oops. All right, so now let's find our piece worker constants that are in here. Here they are. Oh, geez. I don't know what happened there, but we'll do it again. Let's grab that again here. So, all right, that's a start. We want this const pieces made and price per piece inputs. Okay. Looks like we had 8 of them there. 3, 4, 5, 6. So we need our field set and our total. Get those right now. There's our field set. And we will need our total piece worker. All right, the other thing we'll need is our calculate piece worker pay. Which is right here. So let's grab that. Put that in here. And for now, at least, we're done with that. Just so I try not to confuse anybody, I'm going to close our piece worker and I'm going to close our hourly. Okay. And then let's do the last two. So next, let's open our commission, which again is empty. And you'll see if we go back here, it's the same thing. Commission constants, calculate commission pay, and then later this validate function. Okay. So we need our commission employee stuff. There's our first four. Okay, I screwed that up. Let's do that here. There we go. All right, so there should be four more constants for us to put in here. Our sales amount input and our commission percentage input. I don't want those two. Again, we'll pretty these up a little bit. Draw your own conclusions as to whether I made them pretty or not, I guess. All right. We need our commission field set. We need our total commission. And finally, we need our calculate commission gross pay. Which is right here. Hit enter a couple times. Now that's done. And finally, let's open the salaried. And again, same as we've been looking at. The salaried will hold the salaried constants, our calculate salaried gross pay, and then later a validate. Okay. Oops, I guess I do want to copy that, sorry. Trying to be consistent here. All right, so let's get our constants first. Let's bring that up. We don't have any constants in here now anymore, so those two. We won't have as many as we did last for the other ones. We need salary input. We need salaried field set. And we need our total salaried. Whoops. What did I write there? That was wrong. All right, if I look at the other one, we've got the amount input. Do I have that? There'll be just one of those, and one of those. Yeah, should be 5. Okay, so we need to calculate salaried gross pay. There that is. Just leave that alone. All right, let's come back to here. Again, let's hit enter a couple. Whoops, not there. Let's hit enter a couple times at the bottom. We got it once. Let's hit it again, and let's save that. So we have now done all these. Now the script.js should hold all DOM references, all accumulators, all helpers, all event listeners, and the onCalculate. All right, which now, as it says, will call the modules validate and calculate function and handle the result. So let's get that. Let's go back to our script.js file. Let's close salaried and close commission. Oops. Bring our script back up. All right. Now we're not going to rate and do anything with these right now, but notice our accumulators. Okay, we've got those. Our UI helpers, I don't know, our buttons, etc. Okay, we've shrunk this file down a bit. It was around, I believe, I don't know, must have been somewhere, maybe it's not that small, I guess. 422 lines right now. Well, let's see what it was before. And the way we can do that is we will go back in here to our payroll 01 and they're open. So it was, we've gotten rid of about 100 lines from this file. Okay, from about 545 to about 445. All right. Now, doesn't work. That's not what I'm worried about right now. But I did want you to understand that what we've done here is we are changing it. In our last application, we put everything that we did into one script.js file. All right. Now what we're doing is we have 6 different JS files. One to handle our script stuff, like we did before, a validation one, and then one for each of our employee types. All right, so that's where we are right now. I'm going to stop right there. In fact, let's double check here. I've got my notes right in front of me. Let's open up let's look at our validation file. Okay, I'm not going to bring up the script right now. It's going to cancel this. Let's do a file save all right here. And let's do a file open file. And let's open up validation. Okay. All right. Now, this validate numeric input, we're going to have to make some changes to it. All right. Or maybe not at all. Let's see. This is our generic input validation module. All right. So this is our generic validation function. It's going to be called basically by everybody. All right. So we've got a constant in here, trimmed input. So whatever we pass in, we're just going to make sure it has no leading or trailing spaces. So remove any, all, leading, and trailing spaces. All right, we do that first. Then we check for empty input. If it is, we're returning false for the valid, NaN for that, and message. So it might say something like hours worked is required, something like that. All right. Then we had numeric input, so we are going to range check it. Now, the only thing I don't like about this in here is for the pieces made, it's going to make it a float. All right. When it's checking it in here, that's not going to hurt anything, but really it shouldn't. I could do some other stuff. I'm leaving it the way it is. So again, just like before, if it's out of range, valid will be false. The value, though, is a number, and the message will be whatever, like hours worked must be between then the min hours 0 and the max hours of 84. All right. If we get down to the bottom, everything worked. So we're just returning true, valid, the number, and no message. That should be it for our validation function. Now, this is already 28 minutes, and I'm sorry, this is going to be longer. I want to get all this done. And the reason I want to get all this done is I want to be able to concentrate in the next several videos on just fixing up the script.js file. So next, let's bring in hourly. All right. And like I said, the validation one is done. So this is hourly. All right. So we've got our constants, our min hours, our max hours, min rate and max rate. We still want to come in like we did before and have these. In other words, we want our max non-OT and our max OT rate. Something tells me these documents.get element by ID, they're going to go back. They're going to go back to the script.js file. So we got our gross, our OT hours. Yeah, we're checking this. It's less, boom. Else we're doing this. Okay. And you know what? I'm going to have to write some code here for our validate and calculate hourly. So I do think I am going to stop here. And believe it or not, it's already 8 o'clock at night. So I'm going to pick it up tomorrow. See you then.